My name is Michael Lamb. I am the founder of Kaydoh. And just very quickly, Kaydoh is a system that Jesse uses to really organize his messages, do follow-ups, and just really have a duplicatable system when he does his agent attraction. Jesse is a growth partner, anchor partner here. He has a team of over 100 agents in his network. He's been in his business quite a lot. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and he's going to take it away, sharing his tips, his playbook on how he does agent attraction in a way that everyone can duplicate, can take advantage of the things that he's going to share today. So, Jesse, welcome aboard.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys all for joining us. Like Michael mentioned, if you're just kind of jumping on, let us know what city and state you're tuning in from so we can know how to support you. We send referrals all across the country. That's a big part of our business, man. I'm going to kind of just share a little bit about how I've been able to adopt this platform. Realty America partnered with them in our marketplace as a vendor, and I've seen them come through, and I've seen another brokerage that was already kind of working with them. So I was already kind of hearing a little bit about a buzz about them. So I was excited to kind of get my hands on the platform and start to kind of play with it. And Michael, our state broker, Rissa in Wisconsin, hosted Michael in our state meeting. And Michael had a chance to do a demo. And I signed up right away after that. And I started texting Michael on Messenger. And I'm like, listen, I'm really, I just got a couple questions about this. I'm pretty good with tech. I don't really need to be held by the hand for very long. I says, but, how does this, can you tell me about this and that? And he was very responsive. And the support was pretty awesome. So I dived in there. And the more I used it, I was pretty impressed with the utility of it. So I'm going to kind of go in and just share a few slides, because before I kind of demo a little bit about Kaydoh, I actually want to kind of set the tone about how I'm using it in not only to attract agents, but to support agents. So, and to support an organization, because retention is just as important as growing an organization, right? You got to make it easier for people to sell more real estate and do what they do, organize their stories. So I'm going to go into this playbook, right? So let me ask you a question, and I just want to pose a question here, and feel free to chat. What's better than one of you? 10 of you? Imagine that thought. 50 of you. 100 of you, 1,000 of you. That's kind of a dangerous idea to think about, right? So I want you to think about everything that you know about business and real estate, sales. I want you to think about what you're good at. I want you to think about all the experience that you've earned in your career and the mistakes that you've already paid for and made. Now imagine 100 other people knowing what you know or able to do what you do. Imagine you duplicating yourself. That's the power of kind of creating an organization in business and sales and real estate, right? Core belief. I believe in business, there's two ways, not to say that there's only two ways to grow a business, but for the most part, people compete on price or people compete on value. And I believe I'm building a business where I'm competing on value. And one thing I know, it doesn't matter if it's a buyer, it's a seller, or if it's an agent. The only time people are really haggling you on price is when in the absence of you creating value. You go to a listing appointment and you tell them the fee for your service to take that listing. And if they start to haggle you, maybe you didn't do a good enough job on creating value, to demand what you're worth. So think about this. Buyers, in their mind, they're asking, why should I work with them? Sellers are asking, are you worth what you say you're worth? And agents are asking, why should I be aligned with them? When the value is vague, people start to negotiate the price. When the value is clear, people move forward with confidence. The real job of a leader is not persuasion, guys. It's to deliver clarity. In business, you need to start to create systems around what you do. Because the reality is you're not going to remember every single thing off the top of your head. So you gotta have the most important things down of what you need to mention and what you need to say. So systems turn skill into a real business. So system creates real results. Skill creates results sometimes. Systems create results constantly, guys. So this is what a strong system is going to do for you in real estate. It's going to ensure constant follow-up with leads, buyers, and sellers. It's going to start to standardize the client experience, so that way you're not only relying on memory. It's going to help agents deliver the same level of professionalism every single time. And it's going to allow realtors to clearly explain who they serve, how they help add value, and why they're different. Because this is the truth. Skills win transactions, but systems are what's going to help you build a real business and help you grow an organization. All right. So let's talk about this a little bit more. Every business grows until its systems or lack thereof start to break. Growth in your real estate business will start to expose weak systems. So this is the common system leaks. Leads that don't get followed up with, conversations that go nowhere, inconsistent client communication, agents who feel supported at onboarding, but they route them to your brokerage. And leaky systems create burnout, confusion, high turnover, and inconsistent income. So whatever your system doesn't handle, the leader or operator personally starts to absorb. So this is where we need to focus on leadership redefined. Listen, if you want to build a real estate organization, you have to become a leader. That's the truth, right? And leadership is about building support, not just sales. Titles won't scale you, hustle doesn't scale you, and people don't scale you in itself. Systems is what's going to start to scale you. And that's why I kind of love a platform like Kaydoh, because it could complement the skills that you already have. So real leaders don't self-fund growth forever. They don't rely on motivation as the only way to build their business. They don't expect agents to figure it all out on their own. They build environments where people can win repeatedly. Right? So support creates trust. Trust creates retention. Retention is what creates scale, guys. All right. So now let's talk about the platform. Kaydoh is one platform, multi-experiences, one clear message. It can support you with lead generation. It supports you with buyers, with investors, with sellers, with agent attraction. It can support you with referrals. And I'm going to show you how I'm using it personally. All right. So instead of explaining the business differently every single time, sending random different links, having disorganized conversations, what I've built through Kaydoh is multiple controlled entry points, clear paths depending on who I'm sitting in front of or who's viewing it, different experiences for buyers and sellers, agents, referral partners, even state-specific stuff, right? So same foundation, but different kind of lenses that we get to operate through, all right? This is one thing you got to remember when you're building a real estate organization, wherever you're at, whatever brokerage you're at, is supporting the organization. If you win alone, the truth is you lose long term. That's the truth, guys. Organizations don't fail from lack of opportunity. They fail due to lack of support and structure. Supported agents will stay with you longer. Retained agents produce more consistently. One of the highest forms of leadership is helping others clearly communicate and deliver their value and their story. So true leverage in this business follows organized organizations, and that's what you want to start to build. All right. Now everybody is out to build something different. Some people want financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, right? And you got to start to ask yourself that question. All right. But the real question is, do you want this? The real question is, who are you building this for? I'm building this for buyers and sellers who need clarity because they're excited, they're nervous, and they're anxious about the buying and selling experience. And my job is to establish two things: competence and trust when I meet with a buyer or seller. That's the main objectives that I'm trying to create when I'm meeting with a buyer or seller, is I need to establish competence and I need to establish trust. And that's why I'm leveraging the Kaydoh tool to help me do that.